Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is Leon Master, and welcome back to another Overwatch League video. And boys, the day one of weekend 2 is finally over, and I'm so happy it's finally over because today's games were absolutely horrible, and I think everyone can actually agree on that one. There was no good teams. The only good team, or promising team, I should say, was the Florida Mayhem. Houston Outlaws, honestly, an argument that could end up being the worst team in the league. Washington Justice sure looks like their scrims aren't going that well, and they didn't look good on stage. On Philadelphia Fusion, that whole team was just so underwhelming in every single part in that area. So let's go ahead and talk about that first game that happened today. It was Houston Outlaws versus the Florida Mayhem. And I expected this match to be somewhat competitive and actually good. And a reason I put Houston Outlaws in favor of my prediction because I actually like the coaching staff more than Florida Mayhem, and I guess that's completely gone now. Like the coaching staff is not coaching Houston Outlaws good at all. We first start off seeing Blase and Hydration start, which is a lot of question marks already. Then we see Raucous start over Repel, and at that point I'm already destroyed mentally with the Houston Outlaws. And what do they roll out on? They roll out on Blase on McCree, and Raucous on Brig, and Jexe on Lucio. And when I first saw this roster, I was like, you know what, I think this is going to be a map 1 thing. We're going to see Blase play maybe a Doomfist, and Hydration probably playing the Mei, which Hydration did play the Mei throughout the entire series, but Blase was sticking on the Kree throughout the entire game, which was the most confusing thing to me when you have players like Linkser on your roster, who's probably the best Kree you have on that roster and could potentially be one of the best Krees in the league, but you put Blase in, who's mostly a projectile player, while Linkser is practicing hit scan for who knows how long at this point. Then you have Raucous, who obviously we know how Raucous is. He hasn't been performing good recently, and I think him playing Brig is not on his part. I think this is more on the coaching staff thing, where I even said it in my Discord, why are they playing Lucio and Brig? That is the most less heals, I don't know how to even say it. You have no heals with this healer lineup that you need to be so passive, which we saw them being super passive, and then Florida took advantage of that and threw a nade at the right spot, mostly on Muma, which was the good target to choose on, and they just rushed in, and they had no chance to fight because of how low of the heals they had. And I just think that's more of a coaching thing more than the players. Like if Raucous and Repel are not good on Ana, why have one of them not been released yet, or something has not come out yet? Because the main healer you need right now is the Ana, because Ana's just game changing of a hero when it comes to this game with the nade mostly. If you get a nade on at least the Reinhardt, you already kind of won the fight. If your team's already healed up and you're going aggressive, then you just kill the enemy Reinhardt and you just go in. That's all you need to do. If you get a nice nade on the Reinhardt and enemy team, you basically already won the fight. But on the Houston Outlaw side, they had Brig and Lucio, which your Reinhardt's already lost the fight by default. Your Reinhardt's getting no heals. Raucous runs out of healing packs super quick because everyone's already low super quick. And you need to be in combat all the time when you play with Brig, and they just weren't. They were losing all the time. I'm surprised they even got the point at some points, which makes me think Florida was kind of they weren't super good, but they weren't super bad. I definitely think watching Florida was pretty scrappy today. I could definitely think they have promise to be even better. But when I look at Houston Outlaws, I can just tell Harsha's already done a bad job so far, and it sucks to say that because I actually had high hopes for Harsha before the season started, and he's not practicing the right things with his team. Now, I think there is arguments why is Hydration playing over Dante. If I'm going to be honest, Dante's and Hydration's Maze are not good at all. And I think the reason they put Hydration is because mostly Hydration's more of a projectile, player, and if they needed to play something else, Hydration can play it on the spot, maybe like a Pharah or something. I know Dante can play it, but you probably want Hydration to play the Pharah instead. I just think that's the reason why they're playing Hydration. They both don't have good Maze. Would it be nice to see Dante's Maze over Hydration right now? Absolutely, I think it would. And why is Blase just in over Linkser? It blows my mind. Then you have Repel being benched, which Repel and Jexe are a duo, and you literally broke that duo up with Brig and Lucio. And on top of this, Jexe was going for the Widow more than Mecco was, and Mecco needs to start diving the Widow more and peeling for his backline, which he kind of did that every now and then. You could just tell Mecco was trying to do a lot of things the team just couldn't do. Mecco was here and there going on enemies and all that, but like the thing of Mecco also, he wasn't going on BQB a lot. Like if you look out there the entire days today, I'm mostly speaking of Elliot when we get there, all the divas we've seen in the league, they go towards the hit scan, mostly the Widow or the Kree, but we didn't see Mecco do that at all, which could be a communication issue, I don't know, because it's just a Kree, it's easy to hear that, and Krees are flanking, so was divas in this, new meta, and it's just shocking that this team has talent, it really does. You have Repel and Jexe, that's some talent. You have Muma and Mecco, who can be good. You have Linkser and Hydration, which I want to see, that can be good. You have talent on this roster, and the coaching staff they have looks decent on paper, but obviously right now it's not showing any results right now. Hureg was alright. Then you have a Dream, who did a decent job on Montreal. Then Harsh, who's worked on San Francisco and Vancouver, who's done great things on Vancouver, we've heard. And he comes to Houston Outlaws, we have high expectations, and he's just not doing anything good at this team. I'm so confused with the Brig Lucio comp still, and he definitely needs to be coaching Meko a little bit more. He just needs to be coaching Meko so much more right now because Meko just looks lost, and I can't really blame that on him right now. He's trying his best. There was even an image out there, Meko looking tired, maybe because it was the pause, but like Meko all around, he's trying his best. You can tell he's trying to help Muma, trying to help his backline, trying to get BQB on the flank. He's trying to do a lot while the team just looks so separated. That was going on through the entire series. Like it doesn't look like there was any stage nerves, nothing. They were just all across the map. Maybe because it was low heals, which makes sense because whenever they were playing Brig Lucio, Muma had to back up a lot. Then hydration was in on the cart, but then there was like Blase on the castle and Eichenwald. It was just this team's poorly coached. It looked like this team started playing 2 days ago. It's shocking how bad Houston Outlaws look, and I definitely think this team is at least on the level of Boston Uprising right now, which is weird to say because I definitely think Boston Uprising just looked better than what we've seen. Now, obviously, it probably isn't fair to say this right now because Boston Uprising did play against NYXL. They did get kind of rolled. Houston Outlaws is playing against the Florida, but they got rolled too, but had a little bit of more performances, I guess you could say. I don't know. They're both just bad right now. But I think that's going to be it for the Houston Outlaws and Florida match, but I do got to say Florida did look good. It looks promising right now. It's shocking to see BQB, starting. I didn't expect that at all, but BQB definitely deserves it. I gotta be real. BQB's McCree was one of the best we've seen so far when it comes to the Crees. He hit every flank, most because Mecca wasn't on him. And then Gangnam Jin, may I say, I definitely think Gangnam Jin could potentially be a top 10 Ana. He was definitely changing most of the fights because he was Ana, hitting the nice nades, game-winning nades, by the way. Just saying. He just looked insanely good. Chris looked alright. He definitely didn't, stand out to me. Yaki, as good as we all thought he was going to be. Carrion and Gargoyle were still good. Gargoyle looked good as well. Hitting the flanks, by the way, with Blase. Just wanted to throw that out there. Just, Florida looked good. They could definitely be better, though. Today's games was definitely scrappy from the Florida man. They have promise, though. I definitely see it. Then on to the next game, Washington Justice versus the Philadelphia Fusion. And I dropped into the series. I thought it was going to be a pretty exciting. Justice, just a little bit of excitement, even though we've heard the scrims aren't going that well. And then on the Philadelphia Fusion side, everyone had high expectations. We're seeing Alarm for the first time. We're seeing Funny Astro. We thought we were going to see Fury, but we didn't. Saddle looked good this game. I'm going to be real. Then Carpe comes in, actually looking pretty good. Ivy doing his job on May, at least. So Poco comes in, and he plays the Orisa majority of the time in this series. And may I say, Poco's Orisa definitely needs work. I was watching Sideshow's companion stream, and I was listening to Packy 10. He was on the stream, too, and he was saying Poco's Orisa is not good right now. And he had a good reason why. I could definitely see why Poco's Orisa wasn't good now, and I could just see it throughout the entire series and even past Orisa players. And the main reason why, Orisa is being played with Ryan right now is because you want to throw that Orisa shield into the enemy team so your Ryan goes in and just does damage while he's getting no damage because that shield's right there. So basically you kind of engage with the Orisa shield and also have your Reinhardt go in, but Poco was just putting shield down super early, like, they were going to sit behind that shield, but they had Saddle doing that, so Poco was just kind of throwing his shields out here and there, and all around, just Poco's Orisa was just not good this series. It's just wild because they have Fury on the bench who can actually play the Orisa, but who knows if he can play it right now in this new meta. It just blows my mind that Fury's not playing on stage of Saddle right now. And another thing I want to talk about, the support line with the Philadelphia Fusion. I'm going to be real here. I thought I would never say it, but Alarm really did not impress me today. Maybe because it was stage nerves, which is a good argument. Maybe we didn't see him play enough Ana, which he was mostly playing the BAP, which his BAP was alright. He would use window in weird places. His heals, he was obviously doing his job of heals, but all around, just like other things like his lamp usage, his window usage was pretty weird. Just Alarm was not impressive today. I definitely think we need to see him play more Ana because Ana is meta. Like I told you guys with Gangnam Jin, game-changing nades, Alarm can definitely hit those. And on Funny Astro side, he was definitely underwhelming as well. Maybe because obviously stage nerves, we can always bring that up. Funny Astro still had the good movement. His ult usage was definitely the best part of Philadelphia Fusion, but that was really it. His ult usage was great, movement was great, but everything else was pretty poor. Then on the Carpe and Saddle, I definitely think these two were playing the best out of the team. Actually, Saddle was actually playing very well in the Reinhardt, even though everyone expected him to not do that. And Carpe, just obviously it's Carpe things. He comes in playing the Widow, wins map 1. If he didn't switch to the Widow, I don't think they would have won map 1. And on his McCree, he was hitting a lot of good shots, which made him take some more wins and then fights and just rounds in general because of his Cree. It's just all around Carpe, and Saddle did pretty good. Then to the Washington Justice side, I definitely gotta say, I came in with low expectations of this team, but this team has promise as well, kind of like the Florida Man. I actually think they looked pretty good against the Fusion for how sloppy the series was. It was kind of weird seeing Justice even lose because I definitely think there was points where Justice looked better than the Fusion actually. And we go to the support line. I definitely think Aim God and Arc were doing pretty alright. Yes, Aim God, his nano usage was very strange. He used it on Corey a lot when you kind of want to use it on your Diva or your Reinhardt. And the reason you want to put it with your Diva is so that your D.Va instantly goes super aggressive and maybe finds either the McCree, the Widow, or maybe the Ana. Who knows? Then onto the DPS, Stratus and Corey. Corey was also pretty strange in the series. He was doing the weirdest flanks, going to literally the enemy spawn while the fight was going on, doing nothing to the fight. Stratus was doing a decent amount of things here and there of his Mei, Doom every now and then. His Doom was very good this series, but just the DPS were just doing strange things on the Justice. And I want to go to the bright spot and to watch the Justice, because I definitely think a lot of people need to look at him right now. It is Elivo, because Elivo was doing everything that a D.Va needs to do, especially on how he's doing on this team right now. Elivo was hitting Carpe's flanks. He was, peeling for his backline. He was just doing the things that needed to be done. Even he was doing flanks himself, which D.Va's actually needed to do right now is doing flanks. And he was doing that, and almost he won the whole entire series because of Elivo's, play. And I think if Elivo keeps this up, I definitely think Justice will find something good if Elivo. Maybe if Lolsish comes in, the team will look a little bit better, because Roar did look pretty shaky this entire series. He did great things, he did bad things. And who knows what's going to happen if Lolsish ever gets his visa. I like to see Lolsish play, actually, see if, Lolsish and Elivo have really good synergy, good teamwork all around. But that's really it I'm waiting for. So yeah, that's going to be it for reviewing the games today. I know I kind of went off on the Houston Outlaws, but I just needed to do that because I expected them to do super good, but they just did awful. So the games for tomorrow, I'm going to predict. I already had this on my community post on YouTube, but I'm going to say it here. The first game, Washington Justice versus the Houston Outlaws. Now, I think everyone knows how this is going to turn out now after what we saw at the Houston Outlaws. I think Justice is going to win 3-1, maybe a 3-0. Who knows how Outlaws is going to perform. But I just think Justice looks better than Outlaws right now. Then onto the next game, Florida Mayhem versus the Philadelphia Fusion. I think there's honestly a chance Florida could actually win against the Fusion, and I'm putting that on right now. I'm putting Florida Mayhem winning 3-2 over Philadelphia Fusion. I just think Florida Mayhem probably is more prepared for the Philly game than what we saw against on the Outlaws. And then Philly, who knows what they're prepared for at this point. They didn't put Fury in. They didn't look that good all around. They didn't look impressing at all. They looked like a bottom, kind of middle bottom tier team. Who knows what's going to happen in Fusion? I don't know. Anyways, guys, it's going to be for me. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to join my Discord down below. Also, don't forget to follow my Twitter and my Twitch. And don't forget to hit that bell. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.